Hey, this is Sandy. Welcome to our Wee Tennessee Homestead. This is going to be a very short video. I just wanted to talk about 3 books actually, that I recommend for every homesteader or every person who is preparedness minded to have on their bookshelf. Not just a digital version, but a physical copy. These are medical books in case there's an incident where there's no doctor available, and you have to treat things on your own. So with that, I'm going to turn the camera around. Okay. The first book is a book called Where There Is No Doctor, a Village Healthcare Handbook. This book has traveled with me to Uganda on 6 different mission trips. While I was only a nurse here. While I was in Uganda, I worked as a doctor doing medical clinics. And this is the book that I used as my go-to to help treat the villagers in Uganda. I don't know if there is a newer version than this. I know it says New Revised Edition. I've had this for a number of years. And this book, you can download a digital version, but I highly recommend getting the physical version because if the internet goes away or there's no power or whatever, you need to have something that you can actually bookmark like I've done here and go to quickly. Home cures, sicknesses that are often confused, how to examine a sick person, how to take care of a sick person, healing without medicines, right and wrong use of medicines. You can see all of the different things that are in this book. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all of it, but you can see that there are a number of different things. This book was specifically developed for developing nations that did not have an adequate healthcare system in place. This is not going to be your high-tech medical school book. This is written in layman's terms to be easily understood by someone in a developing nation. Along with that is Where There Is No Dentist. I wished I'd have had this one with me. Again, this was written for developing nations where people may be treated without the benefit of modern health care. So you can see some of the things that are in that. This was the 2015 edition. Next, some of you have Doc Bones and Nurse Amy, Joe and Amy Alton's Ultimate Survival Medicine Guide. This was a previous edition. The 4th edition, if you can look at the size difference. Okay, the first edition, or this edition here, has just about 310 pages, and they're 6x9. This bad boy here has almost 700 pages. I really encourage you to get the 4th edition. This is the 4th edition, revised and expanded. I bought this edition on Amazon. It is the black and white edition. It was a lot less expensive than the colored edition. If you can afford the colored edition, the color pictures and stuff, it would be great. But one thing I wanted to point out in here, there is a section in here on radiation, chemical and biological events, page 171 in the 4th expanded edition. So if you are concerned about what's going on in the world around us. They have a whole section on radiation, biological, and chemical events, alternative treatments, different types of nuclear events, radiation sickness, preventing it, treating it, biological, and so forth, chemical. So, and they talk about if you've got to do emergency surgeries. This book was written. It's the essential guide for when help is not on the way. If you are sick or have someone who's injured, gunshot wounds, illnesses, breaks, whatever, you need to be prepared. They talk about natural medicines. They talk about medical supplies that you need to have on hand. How you can become an asset, a medical asset. They talk about the need for hygiene and sanitation. They'll walk you through some if you have to do some emergency procedures. They talk about major trauma, bleeding trauma, wound care, bites, broken bones, amputations, chronic medical conditions, things that are very, very important. So I'm going to highly recommend that any homesteader, any person who's preparedness minded, like I said, this is the old edition, so we'll put that aside. This, to me, these are 3 books, and there is also a book in this series. These are put out by Hesperian Group. There is one called Where There Is No Midwife. And if you have a possibility of dealing with anyone who may be pregnant, having a child, and there may not be health care available, I'm going to highly recommend you get that too. You can order those directly from Hesperian. You can order them online on Amazon. I have one on hold for me from a local company, and when I'm in a position to pick that up, I'm going to, because even though I'm not of childbearing age, there may be other people. I delivered a baby in a hospital in Uganda back several years ago, in a hospital that had no electric and no running water. And the midwife that was on that they had was off duty, and I was like the highest ranking medical person there. And that baby was born stillborn, and we had to we lost fetal heart tones 20 minutes before she actually gave birth, and we had to do CPR on this little baby. The cord had been wrapped around its neck twice. We saved that child. The Lord saved that child. And we put it on oxygen using a little tiny plastic medicine cup with the oxygen tubing stuck in it. And believe it or not, that baby started nursing, and the next day mama and baby went home, because in Uganda things are just different. So, but I have had benefit of some of these types of books. I hope you're never in that position. But anyway, I really recommend these. If you have other books that you think are equally valuable as far as medical books that a homesteader or a preparedness-minded person would benefit from, please comment. Leave the title in the comments. Please hit like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video if you think it'll help somebody. And I really appreciate you dropping by. And with that, you have a blessed evening. Remember to thank God for something, at least one thing today. Thanks a lot from our Tennessee Homestead. Bye-bye.